All right. I just want to welcome everyone to this episode of PotWater Presents. I am here with JJ, and she is so amazing. I'm so excited. She's actually one of my oldest friends that I didn't realize that we were Canna friends from way back when I first started getting into the cannabis world. When I created PotWater back in 2021, we were in a workshop together and kind of weaved through the world together without really realizing it, and then through CCI and here we are today. So a lot has happened since then, and I'm so excited for JJ to come on and talk about all the amazing, phenomenal things, and like your amazing news that you shared with us earlier in the year, if you'd like to share that as well, because I just think it's so amazing. You are such an amazing human, and I know I'm using amazing a lot, but because you are so amazing.
Thank you.
So on that note, here's JJ.
Hey, well, a lot to live up to there. Hope I don't disappoint.
Absolutely. You could never.
But thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here. And I'm so grateful that, we have this opportunity, because I have so many things to discuss with you. I have so many things going on. But yeah, shout out to Mom's Tea and Cannabis and Modern Hippie Camus Meditates. Those were the groups that we were in with Amanda and Casey. And they're an amazing couple who are doing amazing things in, the space. And yeah, so shout out to them. I'm still in the group, actually.
Me too.
I still meet with them every Sunday. So that's been great. And then, you were talking about, what's been going on with me and with Educannation and the big exciting news. We just came from Can Expo that was happening in Toronto, March 23rd, 24th, 25th, I believe. And we were nominated, Educannation, which I'm a part of. I sit on their board of directors, and I've been helping build the organization for about 1.5 years now. So they were nominated for an award for Best Educator, and we won. So it's, yes, very, very exciting. I mean, have to give the credit to, the SSS. That's the team that started Educannation. Stacy Bobak, Shauna Dunbar, Steph Massey, who's no longer with us, but it was those three who really got the, framework up for this organization. And then we came in and are just, helping build as we go. So it's been amazing being with them. I joined their leadership membership in January of 2022, I believe. And we're actually renewing memberships right now and expanding our membership, because the leadership membership was all they were working with at the time. But now they've launched a basic membership, which is for people who are like non-professionals in the cannabis space, who want to learn more, want to be in that, with the bubble of cannabis education, learn more and have access to, cannabis educators and coaches as well. So we have that basic membership, and it's $120 for the annual membership there. And then we're also beta testing our professional membership. So that is for leadership members like myself. Those are cannabis professionals, coaches, educators, ganjiers, bud tenders, anyone like that who has a little bit of cannabis education background can come in as a leadership member, and then sit in with our the beta test of the professional membership. With that, we just have so many things that we're building towards. We have a clinic model that we're building. So Educannation wants to, be the organization that people will come to when they need, cannabis education, and they can come to us and they can say, well, okay, well, I'm dealing with cancer. Okay, well, you can go talk to JJ. It's okay. Well, I'm dealing with issues in my middle essence. Well, you can talk to Therese Bowers, so that people can come to us, and then we'll have somebody for everybody, for every situation. And so it's kind of like a one-stop shop. So people can come and, get what they need. So that is the vision that Educannation has been building towards. And this professional membership is, building towards that as well. So it's really, really exciting.
It is. And congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
That is phenomenal. I'm so excited because I was following it, and you were up against a lot of big hitters.
Yes, we had amazing, people that we were nominated with, and actually two of the other members who were nominated or like two of the other people who were nominated for Best Educator were Andrea Maharg, who was our cannabis science teacher at the
Yep.
Cannabis Coaching Institute. So she is also an Educannation member. So she was also voted for Best Educator. And another one of our members, Alexis Burnett, who owns Organic Grow Canada, he was also nominated. So Educannation won, but they are a part of Educannation. So we were all winners at the end of the day.
That's so amazing. And that's one thing I love about this community is it's not like, oh, it's us versus them. It's like, no, we're all in this together. And when one of us wins, we all win and we all celebrate together. And that's the sense of community is huge. And that's what I think draws most people into it.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. The community is huge. And the community that the cannabis industry, provides is like just some of the best people in the world, I have to say. At Can Expo, we just had an incredible time just meeting and connecting with everyone. And you really get a better understanding of what's going on in the world, in the cannabis world, when you're just on the ground floor and talking to the people who are in it, in all the different aspects of the industry. So it was just incredible to be there. We already can't wait for next year. We're already gearing up. We're already booking the Airbnb because Educannation, we've been working together, some of us 3 years, myself a year and a half, and most of us have never met in person. We've been working from all over Canada. And so at Can Expo, we all came together and met for the first time.
Oh,
yes, we had an Airbnb, and we had a blast. We really just all meshed so well, worked so well together, and we're just really excited for the future.
Now, I know it's based in Canada, but anyone from all over the world can join, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We are expanding. We've had American members in the past, and we're actually in talks with people in the UK who are very interested in cannabis education as well. So, we're hoping to, have a global reach with it. But what Educannation is doing here in Canada is becoming the first association of certified cannabis educators. So yeah, that's going to be our framework. And then we would love to spread that globally.
Wonderful. I know I'm a member. I'm one of the ones that kind of slid in at the last minute. So I just think it's so phenomenal. And I just want to make sure like everybody in the world knows about it. So we'll make sure to put all the links to everything underneath our video. But I'd love to also talk about your personal business that you started, Naturalistically Now.
Yeah. So Naturalistically Now started after I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in November of 2019. So when that happened, the doctors, they didn't really tell me much I wanted to hear. They offered me a death sentence, and I wasn't really okay with that. So, I started doing some research, started learning more, and started finding out what alternatives were out there potentially for me. And that's how I came to cannabis. And as a medicine, because I had used cannabis all my life, but I just always thought of it as something that helped me chill after a long day's work, and never thought of it as something so medicinal until I was diagnosed with cancer. So when I was diagnosed with cancer, I made a decision, a bit of a tough one, that I wasn't going to tell everybody about it. And one of the people that I did not tell was my 10-year-old son at the time. I just didn't, it was like literally a last minute audible on the play. It's like he walked in the door and I just couldn't tell him. So I don't know. I made a choice not to share that news with him. He does know now. I did end up telling him about 2.5 years later, when he was a little bit older and a little, and when we knew a little bit more of what was going on. But anyways, Naturalistically Now started as a Facebook group, as a place, kind of a safe space for JJ to be able to talk openly about cancer and alternatives without outing myself to my son or my community, because I didn't tell also a lot of people in my community who had relationships with my son, so that the news wouldn't travel to them. So it was Naturalistically Now was just like my little low-key space to talk cancer incognito. But that ended up, evolving. I started sharing research and information that I was gaining over, all the, work I was doing. And then it evolved into a blog where I started sharing my personal story about, what I had gone through. And then now it's the face of my one-on-one coaching business. So I'm now working one-on-one, predominantly with people with cancer who are looking to either, try to defy the odds, or are, just looking for maintenance, and I even have a recent client who signed on who is a cancer survivor who's looking for prevention. So so that's what I've been doing over at Naturalistically Now.
That's so amazing. And you have put so much into that. I was at the premiere that you did with Corey Yellen in the Q&A, and Kim, I'm going to say his name wrong. So, okay.
Yeah.
And so, it's just so mind-boggling to me. Like whenever anybody I know or hear of this says they have cancer, I'm like, you need to talk to JJ. You need to join this group. You need to, because you've defied the odds. You're still here. And, I was on the call when you shared with us your amazing news this spring, and we were all in tears. And, that was such a pivotal moment in my life, because my dad passed away from cancer when I was 17.
Okay.
And, I just think like what my life would have been like had I had someone like you that he could have talked to.
Yeah, well, I mean, one of the reasons why I, did what I did and why I made the choices that I did was because I lost my mom to cancer 15 years ago now. And, she was diagnosed, she was given a year, like the day she told me she had a year to live. I'll never forget that day. And she died 7 days later. So that was extremely traumatic and devastating. And because there was literally nothing that they could do for her, like nothing, it was just a hopeless situation. And I remember that hopeless feeling that I had. And so when the phone call that I got from the oncologist, when he basically gave me the same news that my mom got, I was literally just like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I was just like, no, I'm not going down that road. That is not going to be my fate. I did not survive all the things that I have in my life to let that be how it ends. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah.
So I just immediately made this, like, did not accept what the doctor had told me. He said that I had 6 months to a year to live. And I just said, I don't think so. So
good for you. And I'm so glad you did. And I know it's probably more than just the cannabis use. There was probably a lot more too. And that's part of what you do, though, is when you talk to people, you go down all the steps that take. So I don't want anyone watching this to think, oh, if I just smoke a little weed, I'm going to be fine and I'm going to live forever. No, that's not what we're trying to say by any means. There's a lot to the process, but it is possible. And that you're a walking miracle in all sense of the word, in whatever religion, whatever your belief system, you have beat the medical odds. You are thriving. You didn't just survive. You're not a survivor. You're a thriver, girl. I mean, you're literally glowing. You're amazing. And you have done so much. And, I'm so proud of you. And I have so much love and admiration for you. And I am so glad that you chose that road and that you've chose to share your story, because I know it's not an easy thing to do, to stand up and to share your most intimate, experiences with the world like this. But thank you for your courage and your bravery to do that.
Oh, of course. It's honestly my pleasure. Like, I almost feel I have an obligation to do this work because of the healing that, that was brought to me through, like you said, not just cannabis, but the host of lifestyle changes that I made. Like, I literally flipped my life upside down. And like 180 completely changed everything. Absolutely everything. If you can think of it, I changed it. So yeah, but cannabis really helped me to change all those things that I needed to change. It helped me spiritually. It helped me mentally. It helped me physically. It transformed me in so many ways that, I was able to, I think, a lot of people believe, the power of the mind and the power of positive thinking, the power, and I believe that as well, that, when you get a cancer diagnosis, if you believe that, you have a year to live, if you believe that, you're probably going to die a year later. But if somebody tells you you have a year to live and you say, fuck that, and you start
Yeah.
making some changes in your life, well, now you might have a better chance. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, cannabis was just huge and incremental in every aspect of those changes, like allowing me to quit smoking, quit drinking, allow me to have more spiritual practice, be a more present parent, like just all the things. Like it's just
Yeah.
changed me in so many ways.
Yes. And same, like I don't
Mhm.
have a cancer diagnosis, so I'm not saying that, but
Mhm.
since going through the program with CCI and getting to know all of you amazing women and some really amazing men too. We're not trying to say that they're not out there. It has changed my life.
Mhm.
I'm a better mom, I'm a better wife, I'm a better friend.
Yeah.
I'm more present.
Mhm.
And so it's one of those things that, I've stopped, I quit smoking years ago,
Yeah.
cigarettes, but I've quit drinking. I just celebrated a year sober.
Yay.
And, and along with, like you said, the spiritual practice,
Mhm.
you introduced me to love culture. And I'm so grateful for that. That has been
I know.
transcendental.
Colette is amazing,
Yes,
isn't
and
she?
I interviewed her last week, so
Oh,
that's gonna be
amazing.
one of my
That's
interviews
great.
coming up that I'll have out there.
Mhm.
And so it's just I truly believe that if you listen, the universe or God or whatever you wanna believe will
Mhm.
guide you to where you need to be, and you have been on my journey
Mm.
since the beginning, and I just wanna thank you so much, JJ. You are so incredible.
Aw, thank
And
you.
for sharing and for like putting your what you're doing out there, like the love culture, like, hey
Mhm.
guys, check this out, you need to do
Yeah.
this. So you've inspired me, whether you realize it or not, to like a
Mhm.
lot of the things that I'm doing are because I'm watching you and seeing what you're doing, and it's like, well, if JJ says this, I got
Aw,
like this, because you have been there. And so thank you for that, and
aw.
for being your authentic self, and
Mm.
for fighting, and for not giving up, and like for all of the amazing things you're doing. And it's only been how long? It's not even just 2 years, maybe,
Yeah,
like.
I haven't it's not quite a year that I've graduated CCI, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
pretty incredible. Mm.
So I can't wait to see, like, I want to set this up to like every, so often check in with you to
Yeah.
where it's like, okay, remember in the beginning we were to look where we are now,
Yes, I would love that,
to
'cause
have like a
yeah.
show and tell and catch up with everybody, because I
Mhm.
think this is just the beginning. Like, I think you're
Absolutely.
just the tip of the iceberg,
Mhm.
and you're going to go on and do such amazing things. And I'm so excited to be able to be in your fan club and cheer you on along the way.
Aw, that warms my heart. Thank you so much for sharing that. Mm.
You're welcome. And thank you for sharing your life with all of us.
Hmm.
Is there anything else that you'd like to shout
Oh, I have
out, or?
so
Well,
much still.
I'm going to shut my trap and let you go, girlfriend.
Well, yeah, so like I have some things brewing. So in February of this year, I launched the Canecdotal Collective. So that is another Facebook group. But the Facebook group is really just there to kind of house people and to keep people up to date on the meetings, because that really is what the Canecdotal Collective is about, an online monthly Zoom meeting where I share information about using cannabis for cancer. And with that, I'm trying to build community. I'm trying to build a safe space for people who do have cancer to come and learn and have that community, have those resources, have that support and guidance. So that is what the Canecdotal Collective is doing. The next presentation or meeting is Monday, May 8th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'll give you a link to register for that because registration is required, but it is free to attend. And I'm going to be talking about using cannabis for cancer and just why you should consider implementing it for the maintenance, prevention, and treatment of cancer. So that's going on. And then I'm also working on an educational series that I'm developing to help to teach people about all of the ways that they can implement cannabis with a cancer diagnosis, outside of what you're going to hear from your doctor, because, they don't quite have the education, unfortunately, that we have when it comes to cannabis medicine. So I feel it's really important to get this information out there to let people know that they have this option available to them outside of the poison, cut, and burn that the, doctors want to offer you. So I am developing this educational series. It's called High Hopes for Healing. And what it will be is like, you can buy the course, you can do it, you'll get all the content right away. You can go through it at your own pace, because I want people to have all the information as they need it. And then I'm going to be running weekly office hours, and then people can join me, ask questions. I'll be doing other presentations and furthering the information and education that way as well. So that's going to be launching next month, the end of the month. So that's really exciting. I hope to see a lot of people there and dropping into the office hours with questions. So I'm really hoping that will be a resource for people who, are just looking for that information. Because there are people out there giving it, like you mentioned, Corey Elland and the screening that I did, Jack Kungle. There are a lot of people who are out here helping, and they were my inspiration as well, which is why I did that screening with Kim to, help raise some money for Corey, because a lot of people are out here doing this work for free, and which is absolutely incredible. And like, there will be a small fee for the course, but that is just so that, I can keep providing this information and content to everybody, and at a reasonable price. So that's coming out in May, and it's very exciting for me. And then down the road after that, I am actually now taking a course and training to become a mindfulness-based cognitive therapy facilitator. Because with the collective, I would like it to be a bit of a support group. And I really thought that having that MBCT background would really just help me, help people, because, everyone who gets a cancer diagnosis has some form of anxiety or depression, and cannabis can really help with that. And if you can incorporate, the cannabis and the spirituality of, meditation and all of that, I really see a lot of huge healing benefit that could come out of that. And one thing for me, when I was, going through my healing, is I was looking for meditations that were specific to cancer, like to kind of shift mindsets and things like that. And I couldn't find a lot of that content out there. So I'm hoping to create it. So I just want to get more, information under my belt, and more training. And then that's something that I'm hoping to provide for people in the future, and mixing up the cannabis spirituality and healing.
That is incredible. Oh, JJ, I love you.
Thanks. I love you too. Yeah, so I'm just so grateful, like, honestly, to be here and to be able to be doing what I'm doing. I feel like I have the best job in the world. I came from 25 years of working in the restaurant industry as a server and manager, and this is completely different, completely new for me. I'm used to interacting with people, but, all the coaching and all of this is all new for me. Thank you to the Cannabis Coaching Institute for the amazing training that I received. And I'm still always training, and I will always be, striving to learn more, and just whatever I can do to help people heal, because I feel like that is what I'm here to do.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I'm so honored to have met you and to be a cheerleader on your journey, and to watch you flourish and thrive. And I'm so excited to see where you go in the future, and to have the updates. So this is just part one of our interviews together. I'm sure we will, eventually have like a whole series.
I would love that.
So if there's anything else, and then how can people reach you? So I will put the links, but just so that way, if they're looking.
Yeah, I'll pass along the link for the registration for the Canecdotal Collective. But if you want to find me, you can just head to naturalisticallynow.com. That is my website, and all my signups and all of that are on there, and contact lists. So you can find me and learn more about me there.
Okay. And then you have Facebook and Instagram as well?
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm JJ Naturalistically Now, and JAY Naturalistically Now. And the Facebook group is Naturalistically Now as well. You should be able to find it if you search that. Just bumped over 1,000 members, so that's really exciting as well. Yeah, so and yeah, I've been just sharing all kinds of information about, you know, alternative, you know, cancer therapies on there, and sharing what I'm doing and my story and all of that. So I'd love to have you come and join us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I know you are a
Thank
busy
you.
woman, so we'll wrap this up. I just want to thank you again so much for taking time to talk with me today and sharing your story and all the amazing things that you're doing. There's that word again, amazing. So
It is
you
amazing,
are. So I'm going to hit stop for now. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming and talking with me today. And thank you to the audience for watching this episode of PotWater Presents with JJ O'Brien.
Thanks.
And